Hello friends, welcome to today's class. So today we will discuss one more problem on your bivariate PDF and CDF. In the last class we have discussed the properties of your bivariate PDF and CDF. We have also discussed a problem on your bivariate PDF and CDF. So continuing on the same lines, today we will discuss one more problem on the bivariate PDF and CDF. Okay, so before moving ahead, so these are some of the properties of your bivariate PDF and CDF which you have already studied. So these are the properties. So I will be sharing this PDF with you guys. Kindly have a look at it before moving ahead with the problems. So we'll make use of these properties and try to discuss the today's problems. So the first problem we have is, let us see the statement of the problem. So the joint PDF fx y x comma y is equal to c, which so the c here is a constant and it ranges between 0 to 3 and y ranges between 0 to 3 and it is 0 otherwise. So the questions asked are, what is the value of constant c, what is the PDFs for x and y, what is fxy of x comma y, that is capital Fxy, when x is between 0 to 3 and y is between 0 to 3. What are fxy, x comma infinity, and fxy infinity comma y. Okay, so let us summarize what all has been given. So see here friends, he has given us the PDF and the first thing he has told us that we should find the constant c. We should find the constant c and the value of x is between 0 to 3 and the value of y is also between 0 to 3. So first A question is we need to find the constant c. Next is we need to find the PDFs for x and y. Okay, and the third thing is he has asked us to find the capital Fxy, which is nothing but the CDF when x is between 0 to 3 and y is between 0 to 3. Finally, the last question he has asked is fxy x to infinity and fxy infinity to y. So these are nothing but your marginal things. So we will be finding your marginal CDFs. Okay, so let us go ahead, try to solve this problem. We already know that this is our formula, the main formula. You can just observe here, that is the CDF of a bivariate random variables is nothing but it is integration of double integration of your PDF with respect to dx and dy. Okay, so let us see now. The first thing is let us write this in the form of an equation. So what he has given, that the PDF, so therefore you can see a small f and its value is what, c. So when it is c, when your x is in between 0 to 3 and y is between 0 to 3. So that is what we have written here. Next, for all other values it is 0. Okay, so we'll use one of our property, that is nothing but the total volume under your PDF is always equal to 1. So you can just see here the total volume under your surface is always equal to 1. So this is one of the properties which we have already studied in your previous classes. So that property we will be using. Next, so here friends, if you can observe the formula, it is minus infinity to plus infinity, minus infinity to plus infinity. But here no need to take all the values from minus infinity to plus infinity. Our area of interest is where now, from 0 to 3 for x. So therefore we are taken here 0 to 3 and 0 to 3 for y. So therefore we are taken here 0 to 3. Okay, so I hope the limits are clear why we are written 0 to 3. Next, fxy value he has given, it's what now, c. So where it is c, in between this range. So therefore we are taken directly the value of fxy is c and we will be integrating with respect to dx and dy. So the first integration is integration with respect to dx, which you will get x. Okay, and we will be substituting the limits, upper limit and lower limit, which is 0 and 3. Fine. The next integration is nothing but you are integrating your dy. So what integration you will get? The integration of dy is nothing but just y. Okay, substitute the limits, fine. So it is nothing but 3 minus 0 for x, for y it is nothing but 3 minus 0. So what will be getting now? 3 into 3, which is nothing but 9. So finally C is equal to 1 by 9. So the value of c is equal to 1 by 9 where? Only in this range, that is when x is between 0 to 3 and y is between 0 to 3. So we have found the first answer, which is finding the value of the constant c. So this is done. Next question he has asked is, what are the PDFs for x and y? So we'll go ahead and try to do it. So we already know that your PDF and CDF are inverse pairs. They are inverse to one another. So if I want, if I want to find your PDF, say small fx, then what we will do? We will differentiate your capital Fx. Okay. But now, what do we have in our hand? We have a bivariate CDF. So there we will be using one more property, which is nothing but that fx of x is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, and bivariate PDF, which is given. Bivariate PDF is given. Okay, bivariate PDF. So if you see the property, you can see here minus infinity to plus infinity. So we want fx of x. So we want fx of x, right? So if I want fx of x, it is minus infinity to plus infinity. Your PDF, which is integrated with respect to dy. So this we have already seen in the previous class. That is, if I want fx of x, I'll integrate with respect to dy. If I want fy of y, I'll integrate with respect to dx. So you can see here, that is, we want fx of x, therefore we are integrating our given PDF with respect to dy. So what is our given PDF, friends? It is already known. It is 1 by 9. We have calculated just now. It is 1 by 9. And where it is 1 by 9? In the range of 0 to 3 for x, in the range of 0 to 3 for y. So use the same limits, that is in the range of 0 to 3. Why only one limit? Because we are interested in finding only a marginal PDF. Okay. So the value of fx of y is nothing but 1 by 9. You can see here it is 1 by 9. And with respect to what now? Dy. So once you integrate, 1 by 9 would be taken outside. This 1 by 9 would be taken outside. You will be integrating just dy. So integration of dy is nothing but y. Use the upper limit and lower limit. There is nothing but 3 and 0. You can see here it is 3 and 0. Okay. Once you integrate, what you will be getting? It is just 3. So the final answer is 1 by 3. So I have found out your fx of x. Similarly, we can find the PDF for y. Just small change we need to do now for the PDF of y. Here it will be fy of y. If you observe here, it is fx of x, right? And again here you will be using bivariate PDF, same as here. Just small change now. Just now we have discussed this as well. When I want PDF of y, I will be integrating with respect to x. So same thing here, friends. So you already know fxy. So substitute the value of fxy, which is 1 by 9. This you have calculated here in the previous section. Okay. So use that. Then you will be integrating with respect to dx. So integration of dx is nothing but just x. So put the limits 3 and 0. So the final answer you will be getting is 1 by 3. So I find it out your fy of y. So if you get back to the problem, we are done with the second one. That is the PDFs of x and y. Next, we will try to find our next very important thing, which is CDF. So we will be finding the CDF now, where in this range again. Okay. So we will go to that thing now. So CDF fxy of x comma y, we know the definition. It is nothing but minus infinity to x and minus infinity to y, and integration of the PDF with respect to dx and dy. Okay. So friends, we want to find a PDF in this range, that is x comma y, and in this range in between 0 to 3. So we actually don't know in between this 0 to 3 where actually is my CDF. So therefore the limits, please observe here, the lower limit is 0. Why? Because it is starting from 0, and the upper limit we are taken as x, not 3. Why? Because we are not sure where is that point. So that's why whenever they ask such problem, the upper limit will be the variable itself. Like in this case it is 0 to x, and here it is 0 to 9. Why? Because this x and y could be anywhere from 0 to 3. It is not fixed at point 3. If I take here point 3, it means that it is fixed at point 3. So we take here what now? X and y. So we already know the value of fxy, which is 1 by 9. Okay. So 1 by 9 is kept as it is. Integration of dx is nothing but x. Integration of dy is nothing but y. So substitute the upper limit and lower limit, you will get xy by 9. Okay. So this is done. C is done. Finally the last part, D part. Okay. So when you speak of D part, it has been told to find out fxy x comma infinity and fxy infinity comma y. So we'll go ahead and try to find that now. So from the property, we already know that we have a property that is fxy of x comma infinity. We have that property, if you remember. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, fxy of x comma infinity. So fxy of x comma infinity, which is nothing but what now? Fx of x. Okay. So how do you find this? This is nothing but first variable is what? X. So therefore you integrate from minus infinity to x. What is the second variable? Infinity. So therefore you integrate from minus infinity to plus infinity. So note the difference here, that if it is x, we integrate with respect up to x, and if it is infinity, we integrate it up to infinity. Okay. So minus infinity doesn't have any scope here. Why? Because our values are starting from 0 only. So therefore it is taken as 0 to x. So here we have a variable x. So therefore 0 to x. Coming to y, y is from where now? It is 0 to 3. That is, let us not take the whole infinity. It is only in the range of where now? From 0 to 3. So that's why we have taken this limit. So we already know the value of fxy, which is 1 by 9. So integration of dx is nothing but x. Okay. So when you substitute the limits, you will be getting x. So integration of dy is nothing but y. When you substitute the limits, you will be getting 3. So finally your answer you are getting is x by 3. So if this is done in similar fashion, you can do infinity to y. Please note the difference between this formula and this formula. So here it is infinity to y. So that's why we have taken minus infinity to plus infinity. And here we have a variable y. So therefore it is minus infinity to y. So if I have a variable x, it is minus infinity to x. If I have a variable y, it is minus infinity to y. Okay. So you know the value of fxy, 1 by 9. So integrate that with respect to dx and dy. Finally, your answer is y by 3. Only small change is what now? In between this and this, that here you are integrating with respect to 0 to x. Here you are integrating from 0 to y. Okay. So the last part is also done. So this is your one of the problems of your bivariate CDF and PDF. Similarly, we will try to do one more problem. This is slightly different from the previous problem. Okay. So let us try to see it. A bivariate random variable has the CDF. So they have given you the CDF fxy, which is nothing but this is equal to c into x plus 1 the whole square and y plus 1 the whole square. Where are these values? These are values in the range of -1 to 4 and -1 to 2. Okay. So leave the rest of the things. The rest of the things is just trying to tell you that for all other values it is 0. Okay. So what all they have asked to find? They have asked us to find the value of C, the bivariate PDF, okay, and the CDFs for fx of x and fy of y. They have told us to evaluate this thing. Even this thing is, this statement is there in your properties. That is nothing but probability of x less than or equal to 2 intersection with y less than or equal to 1. And the last thing is we need to check whether the random variables are independent of one another. Okay. So I told you directly the summary of the problem. I will tell you once again. So this is the CDF they are given. This is the CDF they are given, and this is the range they are given. In what all ranges we have, that is x is in from -1 to 4 and y is from -1 to 2. We need to find the value of C from here. We need to find the value of C. We need to find bivariate PDF. We need to find CDFs fx of x and fy of y, and we need to evaluate this statement, and finally we need to check whether the variables are independent or no. Okay. So let us start. So this is the CDF which they are given now, that is C into x plus 1 the whole square multiplied by y plus 1 the whole square. Okay. So we can find the value of C by using this property, that is fxy of infinity comma infinity. Okay. So you can just go through the properties here. that is fxy of infinity comma infinity is nothing but it is equal to 1. It is equal to 1. So that's why we are taken it equal to 1. Okay. So what may be the reason why we are using this properties? Here both x and y are positive values. There is no negative value among any one of them. So that's why we have used our infinity to infinity. And these are bounded values. Whatever the values you can see in our problem, it's a bounded value. That is, x is only in between -1 to 4 and y is only in between -1 to 2. Okay. So use those values instead of infinity. Here we are used what now? 4. And instead of the y value, here we are used 2. So this is x comma y, x comma y. So x value is 4, y value is 2. This is equal to 1. Next, substitute the values of x and y. So the value of x in this equation, so the value of x is what now here? 4, right? So it is 4 plus 1 the whole square. The value of y is what now? It is 2. So it is 2 plus 1 the whole square. So it is 5 square multiplied by 3 square. So finally the answer you will be getting is C is equal to 1 divided by 225. So the first thing is done. We have found out the value of C. Next thing is we need to find the bivariate PDF. So if I want to find the bivariate PDF, they are given you what now? We need to use our whatever thing they are given. They have given you the CDF. They have given you the CDF. You can see here. This is our CDF. So how to get your PDF? We need to differentiate it. As we already know that they both form the inverse pair, both CDF and PDF. So it is nothing but dou square divided by dou x into dou y, which is partial differentiation. So let us split it. So let us split it. So when we split it, it is nothing but it is dou by dou x and dou by dou y. So first we will be integrating with respect to y. So when we integrate with respect to y, the first term is kept constant as it is, and the integration of y plus 1 the whole square is nothing but 2 into y plus 1. Okay. Next we'll go ahead and integrate your we'll go ahead and differentiate your x. We'll differentiate your x. So the differentiation of x plus 1 the whole square is nothing but 2 into x plus 1. 2 into x plus 1. This c is constant, so we'll take it outside. This y and 2 are all 2 into y plus 1 is also constant, so that whole thing has been taken outside here. Okay. Now we'll multiply it. That is 2 into 2 is nothing but, so this 2 into this 2 is 4. C is kept as it is, so it is x plus 1 into y plus 1. So the c value we have already found it out. We have already found out the value of c here. It is 1 divided by 225. So we'll substitute the value of c, which is 1 divided by 225, and x plus 1 and y plus 1 are kept as it is. So the answer you are getting is 4 divided by 225. Okay. Next we need to find our fx of x and fy of y. So if I want fx of x, again we need to remember these properties. See friends, properties are very essential. Just it is one page. You need to remember these properties. Okay, we have already derived these things. Fine. So we want what now? F of x comma infinity. Fine. So f of x comma infinity is nothing but use the value of x as it is, and the infinity, the maximum value we have is of y is 2. You can see here the maximum value of y we have is 2. So that's why we have taken here what now? 2. Okay. So substitute the values. It is nothing but c into x plus 1 the whole square. Y, we are substituting the value of x as it is, which is x itself. The value of y is what now? 2. So therefore it is 2 plus 1 the whole square. Next, substitute the value of c. C you already know. It is nothing but what now? 9 divided by 225. Okay. So the value of c is what now? It is 1 divided by 225. Fine. Then this 2 plus 1 the whole square is nothing but 3. 3 the square. So 3 square is nothing but 9. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Next we'll come here. So infinity comma y. So maximum value of x is what now? 4. Y is kept as it is. Fine. So again using the equation, we know that this is x plus 1 the whole square, which is nothing but the value of x is 4, and this is y plus 1 the whole square. Y is kept as it is. So this is 5 square, which is 25. So a small mistake here. This should be 25 friends. This is not 9. This should be 25. Okay. So the value of c is 1 by 25. This is nothing but 5 square, which is 25. So this is 25 divided by 225. Fine. And the rest things remains the same. So we are done with the c part. That is CDFs of fx and fy. Next we need to evaluate this thing. That is probability of x less than or equal to 2 intersection with y less than or equal to 1. So again, using your properties, we know that this could be written something like this. See here, it is fx of x less than or equal to small x intersection of fy of less than or equal to small y, which is nothing but your CDF of x comma y. So this is x less than or equal to 2, this is y less than or equal to 1. So this is nothing but CDF of x and y. So x here is what now? Small x 2, small y is what? 1. So therefore we have written xy of 2 comma 1, and we already know your capital Fxy, which is the equation they have given. So this is nothing but c into x plus 1 the whole square, the value of x is 2, y plus 1 the whole square, the value of y is 1. So you substitute these values, that is 3 the whole square, and this is 2 the whole square. 3 square is 9 and 2 square is 4. So 4 9s is how much now? 36. Then you substitute the value of c. C is nothing but 1 by 225. So when you simplify it, you will be getting 4 by 25. Fine. So you have found out your D thing. Your D thing is also done. Next, we will try to find out whether the random variables are independent. Okay. So if we want to find whether they are independent, we need to get fx of x, we need to get fy of y. So fx of x we have found out already, which is 9 by 225 into x plus 1 the whole square. See here, 9 by 225. Okay. And we need to find out fy of y. Even that we have done here, fy of y. Just a small mistake here, this should be 25. So 25 divided by 225 into y plus 1 the whole square. So this is 25 divided by 225 into y plus 1 the whole square. So 25 into 9 is nothing but 225. So the 225 on the numerator and 225 in the denominator would get cancelled, and here you would get 1 divided by 225. Okay. So when you multiply your fx of x and fy of y, you are getting this thing. Okay. Then is this equal to our individual CDF? So individual CDF we already know, it is there in the equation. See here friends, this is our individual CDF, c into x plus 1 the whole square multiplied by y plus 1 the whole square. So the value of c we have know already, which is 1 divided by 225. So what we will be getting here? It is nothing but the same equation, that is 1 divided by 225 x plus 1 the whole square multiplied by y plus 1 the whole square. So therefore both their individual CDFs, and that is the multiplication of individual CDF and the bivariate CDF, both are equal to one another. That is LHS is equal to RHS. Just this is dependent on this here, that is individual CDFs is equal to the bivariate CDF. If this happens, then we say that they are independent. So hence we are saying that both the variables x and y are independent. Okay. So please go through this problem, both the problems what I have covered in today's class. So thank you for watching. If you have any problems, you can just come back and ask me. Thank you.